Hey everyone, it's me again. I just wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about suicide because, let's face it, that's what I've been talking a lot about lately. But I really do. I just want to be real with you guys, so and fill you in on kind of some of the issues, some of the statistics, some of the numbers behind what I'm trying to battle here, what I'm trying to fight, and that what I'm hoping that you will join me in fighting. So, for those of you who don't know, every year, roughly 44,193 Americans die by suicide. That's a lot. I mean, that's almost 45,000 people who die by suicide every year. And that's just Americans. You know, that number goes way up. If you start talking about, like, you know, everybody else and, you know, in Japan or Lithuania or like some of these other countries that's got, you know, have these, you know, huge rates. So, suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the U.S. And, you know, for every one suicide, there's 25 people who attempt. So just think about that for a minute. You know, think about the people who, let's think about Robin Williams for a minute, okay? That was a really well-known individual who committed suicide, and it was a very, it was a huge deal. Like, it really stopped a lot of people in their tracks and made them question a lot of things. It made them question a lot about him, made them question a lot about themselves and whatnot. But think about the fact that for every one Robin Williams that commits suicide, there's 25 more who attempted. I mean, that just blows my mind that the number, like, they're just staggering, how intense that is. I mean, on average, 121 suicides per day. 121 suicides per day. That is just, oh my gosh, like, I can't even put my head around that. You know, it's something that is incredibly, you know, it's sad, but, like, more than sad, that it's this epidemic, and it's something that needs to be stopped. So it's something that, you know, we need to work together, and we need to figure out, like, what are we going to do about this? Because we can't just leave it be the way that it is. Like, it's, you know, something has to change. And, you know, frankly, that something's got to be us. Because we are the ones who, you know, who hold the power to do something about it. Like, when somebody's in the state where they're getting ready to commit suicide, like, they're not really in a place where, you know, you're going to be able to rationalize and talk them out of it. Like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's going on through their minds, you know, and you know, that's why we need to, you know, stop this and nip this in the bud before it even gets to that problem, and gets to that place. So, you know, it's been found that people who commit suicide, 90% of people who have committed suicide have had a mental disorder at the time of committing suicide. That's a lot. 90%. The significance behind that is that mental health disorders can be treated. They can't all be cured, but they can be treated. Individuals can get stabilized with talk therapy, with medication, with things like electroconvulsive therapy, with all sorts of stuff. They can be treated, and they can get the help that they need to keep them from going through with suicide. So just a couple of things to keep in mind, in terms of kind of keeping an eye out for people who might be suicidal, is that there's kind of three major things that you want to pay attention to with individuals. And that's their talk, their behavior, and their mood. So talk-wise, is the individual discussing, wanting to die? Is the individual discussing wishing, that life, didn't exist, or wishing that they didn't exist? Or is the person talking about being a burden to others? That kind of talk is kind of red flag number one. The second thing, behavior. Is this person giving away, some of their prized possessions? Is this person, kind of making decisions to, like, oh, I won't be there anyway. So they're just kind of making these decisions that, they wouldn't normally make, or a typical person, so to speak, wouldn't make if they were in the right state of mind. And the third, mood. What has this person's mood been like? Have they been depressed lately? Has there been a sudden change in mood? Did they go from being really happy to all of a sudden being really down? Or maybe the other way, maybe they were really down for a long time and now they look like they have a sense of peace. These are the things to keep in mind when you're, kind of evaluating, someone who might be suicidal. And obviously you don't want to jump to conclusions and start analyzing every single person in your life, but it is important to keep in mind some of these things, that could be, factors in determining whether a person is, at risk for suicide. Other things that are important are health factors. Is this person have a mental health, problem? Is this, something that is new? Is this something that they have? Do they have, a chronic condition that might make them, seem more hopeless? And then environmental factors. So, maybe the person lost their job, recently, or maybe they're, having to declare bankruptcy, or maybe they're, not able to keep up with their bills, or maybe they, have lost, a loved one recently, so things that are going on in their environment around them that might be, kind of affecting what's going on. And then historical factors, namely, has this person attempted suicide before? Is this something that the individual, is known for or has done before? Because that makes their chances of committing or attempting to go up again drastically. So I know that some of you, this has probably been boring, and you probably stopped halfway through this video, so you don't even hear me saying this, but I thank you for even watching this, and just for kind of getting some suicide awareness kind of information and some stuff. So I'm just gonna leave you with this. So this right here is a $5 bill. $5, okay? I want to know how many of you believe that we can stop suicide using this $5 bill. Because if you really think so, then you're in the same camp that I'm in. Because I think that we can do a whole lot with $5. That person who can't afford talk therapy? That person who can't afford their medications? Hey, $5 comes into play. $5 comes into play more than you'll ever realize. So that's why I also have a campaign called 5 for the Fight. 5 for the Fight to end suicide, to stop suicide. And you know what? I would love if you would join it. Just give $5. You don't have to give anything more than that. Just $5 to help end suicide. And you can go to sleep, tonight, rested well, knowing that you did something that really mattered, knowing that you helped people, and knowing that your life has affected others' lives, and that you played a role in saving someone's life. You kept it from getting to 45,000 people. You kept it from getting to 122 people a day. You kept it from becoming the 9th leading cause of death. You are making strides to help end suicide. So I just thank you very much for your time and for listening to me, and for just supporting me through this process. If you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to email me at hello@dylanlarushis.com. And feel free to visit iamdylan.com and click on the Overnight tab, and you can get all sorts of information there about how you can support me in this efforts. Thanks.